segment, we're going to be discussing some excerpts from my book, Before the Sale. We're going to be discussing never to solicit and always be interviewing. And I'm going to break that down for you. What that actually means is, for instance, when you're at a network meeting, you're going to hand out your card, and most people are going to forget you by the next day. But you're going to hand out that card, and you're going to have your 60-second elevator speech. And typically that's pitching what you do. The reverse of that would be to interview, and what that would be to be more concerned about what they do. And I've made my whole career out of doing this. So what I like to do is I like to set those appointments up, and I like to find related industries. I'm not just going to hand my card to anybody. I need related industries. So let me give you an example of what a related industry would be. Let's say you're a real estate agent. Well, that would be a mortgage broker, a title company, a home inspector, a real estate attorney. These would be related businesses. So what I like to do is I like to find those. If I'm at a network meeting, I'll grab a bunch of cards, but when one hits me and it's related, I'll make an appointment with that person, and I'll share with them that I'm scheduling that appointment so I can give them business. And I want to go and interview them. So I'll go to the real estate attorney's office, and he's going to see me, because I'm not soliciting him saying, hey, this is what I do, I want you to refer me. I'm saying, I have a lot of people to bring you, and I'm going to bring you people, so I want to interview you, I want to see what your services are like. And if granted, he might say, well, don't you have anybody in your loop already that does what I do? And I'm going to say, well, I geographically refer. I have clients all over the place. I don't want to drive 10 miles to one of my people, or one of my lawyers, or home inspector. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to tell him, listen, you might know more about something in one area. You might have a specialty that one of my other real estate attorneys does not have. So in this case, I'm going to go and interview them, and I'm going to find out everything I can about them. This way, I'm educated about their service, and when somebody needs a service like that, I'm going to be able to speak intelligently about their industry, or their firm, or their business. So what does that do? Well, it makes me a little more credible, okay? If I just say, well, yeah, I have a great real estate attorney, you should give him a call. But if I know a little bit more history, I'm going to be a better salesman for my reciprocal referral partner. More importantly, when I refer somebody, now I don't go to all the interviews, but I go to a good amount of them. I'll go to 3 or 4 for each referral partner. When I refer a client, I'll actually go with them and sit in on the meeting. Now I'm going to see the way they speak to my client, how they sell my client, what services they're going to promise my client. This gives me a better understanding of how they act in a real situation. So how many people do that? Not a lot. I mean, I've been in many seminars. I have a lot of raise of hands. But you have to understand the difference between soliciting and interviewing. It's a very powerful a twist on networking. So what I like to do is form a group of 10 specialists. So you're going to find many people in your industry that are related, but you want to work with a core group of 10. In that core group, those are going to be the ones you're going to refer all the time. Now, so let's say if I'm a real estate agent, I get my mortgage broker, I get my home inspector, my attorney, my title company. Let's say I get my top 10. Am I done interviewing? Absolutely not. Because I can be interviewing real estate attorneys for the rest of my life, especially geographically, but for the rest of my life. I might find one that I like better now that my top one that's in my top 10 is now not in my top 10 anymore. But the point is, by interviewing, I'm able to eventually share what I do to them, because they're going to ask. I'm interviewing them for my client so I can refer my client to them, but at the end of the day, they're going to ask me what I do. So if I'm out interviewing every single day, I'm meeting a lot of people. I can probably interview 100 real estate attorneys this year and get me in front of them to share what I do. So now you have to have a certain confidence level on what you do, because you're going to be in front of a bunch of professionals. In our last segment, we spoke about being a professional, being the best you can be, and having all the tools, being able to go over all your objections, because you're going to be in front of people that are a related business. They're going to have questions for you, and you better be able to handle those objections. So like I said in the previous segment, go over every single possible objection you can possibly get and have an answer to every single one you could possibly get. So let's talk about that top 10. Now you've went out, you did your due diligence, you've met with everybody that you can possibly that relates to your business, and you formulated your top 10. Well, they're your top 10, but you're a part of their group now because you're going to educate them to work for you. That's the core top 10. Think of it like a network group you belong to. But only this network group is all related industries, like I believe every network group should be. Instead of worrying about how much money the network group is going to make to have a network group, you need to have related businesses. So having this core group, if each one can work for each other 10 minutes a week by getting that other person business, that's a lot, and that truly adds up. But your core group of related business, think about it that you have a client now, and that client needs all these services. Just imagine that they came to an office and all your 10 people, your reciprocal referral partners, your team, your top 10, they're going to be able to answer some questions and assist that client better than they would ever have been assisted in an individual setting or in a setting that you just say, hey, I know somebody. And these are your core group. You know for certain, because you've interviewed them, that they're your best. They're your best referrals. So you know they're going to help that client. Now, I'm not saying in the perfect world it'd be great if we're all in one room and we can help a client. I'm saying to imagine that. But independent meetings surrounding your client around these top 10, that's what it's going to feel like to them. And they're going to love you because you've done that. And again, to go a step above, if you're getting paid a good amount of money for what you do, and you can afford that time, knowing maybe that client has a good referral for you in the future, or referrals to accompany them, like we talked about before, to some of these meetings would be just amazing, and it would be unusual. And you know, when you're building that top 10, and I'm going to the real estate attorney's office and bringing my client, you know, what is he thinking about me? And you know, where did this guy come from? Like, he's accompanying his client. There's no monetary benefit at this point. He's going to think that's pretty amazing and unusual.